Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 437 based on novel. So let's start. After the turmoil just now, Xiao Yan is also clear that this little guy of the Puppet King seems to be the descendant of a supreme being among the evil tribes outside the realm, but there is no way to know more specific information. In addition, the top priority now is to return to the Dochi continent to solve the problem, so I am not prepared to waste time on him. In the dark space channel, the power of space whistled, and there was a faint space storm, but it did not cause much disturbance. A certain void in the space channel seemed to collapse, and there was a bright beam of light in the place where it collapsed. Here is the only entrance to the Dochi continent from other planes. Since the little guy of the Puppet King is not a foreign evil clan guarding the entrance, there must be strong guards at the entrance. This is also the crisis Xiao Yang and others are facing now. Xie Ying, what's the hurry? At the end of the space passage, on the edge of the void here, there is a prism-like transparent crystal suspended. The power of space in the crystal is endless, and it seems to connect certain passage positions. Enter the entrance to Dochi continent. Wang, according to the investigation of my subordinates, this space channel is indeed built by human powerhouses, and they are coming here at this time. Do you think we should? Understood, the two of us will deal with it here. You go back to the outside world and report the matter here, and let the Lord Heresy God beware of the supreme being of the Great Thousand World. On the other side, Xiao Yang and the others were quickly driving the spaceship toward the entrance. Bang bang bang! An extremely harsh sound emerged, and the hull of the space, which had always been stable and quiet, refused to rise and fall, swaying extremely unstable. It's such a bad luck that I encountered a space storm. Xiao Yang and a few people looked at each other, and then looked along the end of the tremor. He could vaguely see that the void in the distance seemed to have been devoured by some strange creature, and a force of space that was enough to suffocate was buzzing. Ming Su is pulling the endless void, which is chilling. In the dark void, the dazzling light silver space power was brewed out of thin air, and suddenly formed a black space storm with a size of thousands of meters. Avoid it. Seeing this, Xiao Yang couldn't help but utter a deep voice, and then the majestic vindictive energy in his body was vented like a surging river, wrapping the entire spaceship, controlling the route, and quickly staying away from the space storm in the space channel. Space storm is a frequent visitor to this unstable space channel. Once it is sucked into it and enters the space turbulence, I am afraid that even the strong reincarnation can only die without a burial place. Tear it off. The space storm squirmed slightly, and wherever it went, the void was easily eaten away by it. There was still a lot of distance from the end of the space passage, and no one dared to take it lightly. At this moment, the 5 people on the deck looked solemn, and their bodies were filled with fear and fear. Once this extremely terrifying power of space was inhaled, life and death were still unknown. Strange, why is this space storm's attention always locked on us no matter how Brother Xiao Yang moves the spaceship? Mu Yingying's silver bell-like voice carried some doubts. Obviously, during these few minutes of negotiation, she found something wrong. Oh! Listening to Mu Yingying's opening, Xiao Yang's eyes immediately became solemn, and his soul power was like a circle of invisible energy, which was scattered out. The profound and tidal soul power just hit the space storm, and it suddenly fell on the water like water droplets, and it was destroyed without causing too much wind and waves. There was some kind of terrifying evil aura in it. Wait, what is this breath? Come on, the powerhouse among the alien races. Xiao Yang stopped the spaceship in one fell swoop, a rare fiery flash in his eyes. The Golem King just now was just a small episode. Obviously, the matter of the space storm is the ghost of the 2 guys guarding the entrance to the plane. A few 8-star fighting immortals are powerful, but unfortunately this is not something you can set foot on. Let's go back. In the center of the violent and high-speed rotation of the space storm, there were bursts of magical fog lingering suddenly, and an extremely cold voice sounded. When this sound fell, there was a sudden burst of crisp humming explosions in the space storm. Looking at this scene, the faces of several people became serious invariably. Extraterritorial evil race, life and death evil king. Han Tianhao pointed with trembling fingers at the 2 blurred figures in the space passage, and immediately said tremblingly, "Oh, it's a pleasure to meet someone who still recognizes us." Sol Tianhao's voice fell, the whistling sound in the space storm calmed down slightly, and 2 terrifying figures slowly overflowed. It is said that among the evil races outside the realm, there are many levels of powerhouse kings. The specific level of these 2 guys is unknown, but they were once the powerhouses who joined forces to kill the real reincarnation realm. Hun Tianhao said in a very solemn voice. Zuna, the three of you, together with Senior Soul, stop the Lord of Shengxia, and the Lord of Death is handed over to me. As long as they don't join forces, it's nothing. Xiao Yang murmured. The fighting spirit in his body was about to erupt like an angry volcano. The entrance of Doqi continent is actually guarded by the king-level powerhouses of the extraterrestrial evil clan. I am afraid that the Doqi continent is now being attacked by the extraterritorial evil clan. The Doqi continent is the origin of the 8 ancient clans. In addition to what the Xiao clan did to the evil clan outside the territory, Xiao Yang felt that this was a premeditated plan, and the main purpose of the extraterritorial evil clan is probably the 8 ancient clans, and even their Xiao clan. Go! With a cold snort, everyone united, divided into 2 teams, and suddenly attacked the 2 kings. 8-star fighting immortals have never possessed the perfect strength, so there should be no problem for 4 people to attack, right? Give it to me. After the 2 kings finished their conversation, several space storms suddenly quieted down. One after another demonic energy rolled, and the 2 bodies wriggled at the same time. Boom! Kaelin took the lead, and with a slender hand waved in the void, the majestic Doqi swept out, and condensed into a grey energy python that exceeded 100 meters in the space channel. In the eyes of the giant python, a splendid 10-color halo is beautiful, and the 8 colors have already been ignited at this time. Tear it off. The energy giant roared in the sky, and immediately crawled beside Kaelin, killing it and leaving 9 profound flames. Zuna was naturally unwilling to be left behind. Golden flames spewed out, and a golden sacred arrow condensed in front of her delicate body, attacking the latter fiercely. Breath of double flames. Naturally, Mu Yingying was not idle either. 2 holy flames quietly appeared behind her jade body, entwining slightly, forming a 2-color space bird, with an endless divine light aura, rendering the entire space spotless and clean. It turned out to be the master of Saint Flame. No wonder he has the courage to come here. But the evil storm, let's wreak havoc. Feeling the terrifying suffocating energy in the hands of the 3 women, the eyes of the evil king suddenly jumped. His body was hidden in the spatial storm, and a roar that resounded throughout the world swept out. In an instant, the space channel was surging, countless powers swelled up, and suffocating evil power spread out. The power of evil is full of heinous tearing power, and that kind of power can't help but make the scalp of the 8-star Doqian perfection numb. Boom! The void vibrated, and the entire void channel shook violently. The 3 Kaelin girls and Hun Tianhao joined forces, and for a while they were inextricably fighting with Shengxia Jun. But as time went by, Xiao Yang believed that victory naturally belonged to them. 8-star fighting immortal midterm strength, holy flame. The method is good, but unfortunately too many geniuses have fallen into the hands of the 2 of us. It's as small as dust. The evil king took 1 step forward and emerged from the space storm. With a wave of his hand, the boundless black thick liquid enveloped him and Xiao Yang. Evil realm. Is the 8-star Doqian complete? Xiao Yang's vindictive energy rose, the corners of his mouth raised a dangerous arc, and he snorted softly. Destroy the ants. The dead evil king slapped his big hand, and the fierce space force formed several space swords, which cut away at Xiao Yang's body like a scythe of death. The sharp sound that was enough to pierce the eardrum was maddening. Crack! Just when this silver energy ripple was about to hit Xiao Yang, the fighting spirit behind Xiao Yang hummed, and the 2 holy flame armors shone with dazzling brilliance. This attack was neutralized just now. Looking up, the appearance of the dead evil king is no different from that of a human being. The only difference is that his arms and toes are covered with extremely twisted silver scales. Death storm, raging. Looking at Xiao Yang's appearance, a look of enjoyment appeared on the face of the dead evil king. Just as the voice fell, the void behind his body suddenly split open, and black space storms converged in an instant, sweeping out with a terrifying aura that would destroy the world. Boom! Xiao Yang exerted his strength to the limit, constantly dodging the howling of the space storm. His body was extremely flexible, but in the end he was hit by a menacing space storm, punched out, and the void collapsed. This is the power of space. A fist fell, and the slightest sense of intense pain surfaced on Xiao Yang's fist. The space storm was directly smashed by Xiao Yang, but a faint trace of the power of space remained on the fist. In the space passage, the 2 evil kings of life and death are all 8-star fighting immortals with complete strength, and they can defeat the reincarnation-level powerhouse together, but they are dealt with separately at this time, and the fight is inextricable for a while. As for the people in the spaceship, they were sheltered by Xiao Yang's enormous power, and even the 2 evil monarchs did not investigate. In addition, in order to retain Xiao Yang's strength, in this level of battle, Without Xiao Yang's order, they did not dare to take action rashly. What a terrifying power! This guy actually realized the power of space. The power of space is combined with the evil power unique to the extraterritorial evil race. This level of space storm, the power of holy flame, is no longer suppressed by death. In the fight, Xiao Yang and the dead evil king retreated together. Xiao Yang thought so. The power of the evil king of life and death is not bad. Although the two are only 8-star fighting immortals, but because the latter realizes that he has mastered two kinds of power, his strength is outrageous. I am afraid that facing some strong people who touch or set foot in reincarnation, the evil king of death will be happy. Don't be afraid. You must kill with one blow, and end here as soon as possible. 2 8-star Dozian perfection powerhouses will guard the gate. Their strength should not be underestimated. Otherwise, if you waste too much time here, Dochi continent will be in danger. Xiao Yang clenched his fists tightly, and the Xiao ethnic pattern between his eyebrows shone. Are you ready to use your real skills? Is it difficult for me to let you know too? The 41st evil tool, the Mirror of Death. There was a rare fiery touch on Death Shejuan's face, and a delicate mirror appeared in his hand, and the quiet space here could not help but be distorted by it. Lei came. Xiao Yang's expression was extremely calm, and he stood firmly in the void of the field. A trace of grey thunder, golden thunder, and different colors of thunder slowly spread out from the depths of Xiao Yang, bathing Xiao Yang in a layer of light net of thunder. Colorful thunder snakes shot out in all directions, and the fields along the way actually collapsed directly. Even because the power of thunder contained not only the thunder of Dan Lei, but also the thunder of the reincarnation of the Thunder Master, Xiao Yang's thin body could not help but change. Have to expand. Standing still in the void, like a thunder tower, eternal and unmoving, but the terrifying aura contained in it, no one dares to underestimate it. Holy flame is coming. In Dulunghan, amber holy flames flowed out from Xiao Yang's body, turning into a pool of pure amber source liquid, nourishing and increasing, and strengthening Xiao Yang's physical strength. The lightning net fire liquid is like a real volcanic lava. If you can't suppress it, it will spew out, blooming the sacred lava that destroys all things. Death mirror, cut off life and death. Looking at Xiao Yang's situation, the evil aura in the body of the dead evil monarch rolled over, and countless demonic energy and the power of space swept out together, pouring into the dead evil tool. Wong buzzing. The evil tool trembled abruptly, and instantly expanded to the size of 1,000 feet. The silver transparent mirror reflected Xiao Yang's current appearance, but Xiao Yang's body in the evil mirror of death was breaking apart little by little. So much so that because of this, Xiao Yang's body really felt a strange feeling of shattering and shattering. That kind of feeling is as if one's own life has been re-engraved by the evil mirror of death. Once the self in the mirror dies, I am afraid that one's body and spirit will also be destroyed. So what? Half. The 5th transformation of the dragon god. Dragon claw. The ferocious roar roared out like a peerless beast. In an instant, the thunder halo on Xiao Yang's body, and the amber holy flame liquid converged towards Xiao Yang's right hand at the same time. Indistinctly, Xiao Yang's right hand held a hawk's beak, which contained endless fierceness. The unruly golden dragon shadows roared and roared. Tear it off. The body rioted, and the golden dragon shadow appeared on the palm of the hand, and suddenly a golden giant claw that was enough to penetrate the heaven and the earth disappeared in a flash. With a sound, the sharp sound of the fingertips touching the mirror surface came out, and the evil mirror of death shattered like a crystal that was broken by someone, and turned into powder. Empty. Space of. Feeling this irresistible golden claws, the dead evil king felt a powerful coercion flooding out, and suddenly roared, trying to use a powerful attack to resist Xiao Yang. Crack. The void wriggled, the void behind dead evil lord cracked slightly, and the clan pattern halo first appeared, imprisoning his body. Then a golden hand grasped the shape of a giant claw, with a golden dragon shadow rushing and roaring among them. There was no hand retention or mutation, the golden claws were like no one, and the throat of the dead evil king was easily cut off, and the stench and strange blood was sprayed out. The scene is extremely spectacular. Fall down completely. Xiao Yang naturally knew that this situation was not enough to kill the evil monarch. The golden giant claws were churning, and they followed the trend, instantly crushing the evil origin of the dead evil monarch. All of this happened between lightning and flint, and there is no hurry to make any defenses. The mighty dead evil king actually fell like this. Wong buzzing. The source of evil was destroyed. The body of the dead evil king became icy cold, and the demonic energy rolled out, trying to vent his anger against Xiao Yang. At the same time, the fire of holy flame emerged, and all the demonic energy was quietly swallowed and purified by it. And you. In the same attack in Zaitu, the king Shengxie, who was beaten by Zuna and others who fell into the lower winds, was also strangled by Xiao Yang. Killing the two away, the entire space is extremely quiet. Send someone to guard the entrance, let's get in first. Go. Xiao Yang hurriedly took the three daughters and fell through the void, directly stepping into the entrance of the plane, but the palm of his right hand trembled at this moment, and a drop of blood dripped down, extremely terrifying. Dragon God Transformation, the fifth Dragon God Transformation, is really surprising. But it seems that some of the reincarnation powerhouses among the human beings are coveting the Doqi continent, so why? Han Tianhao's expression was extremely strange and complicated, and he immediately took everyone in the spaceship and took a step behind Xiao Yang and the others. Suddenly, the Doqi continent encountered an unprecedented disaster. A disaster of that level even surpassed the battle of the two emperors a long time ago. When Xiao Yang and the three daughters first stepped into the plane entrance and returned to the Doqi continent, the Doqi continent became extremely strange. The Doqi continent was originally a fertile land full of legends. Countless powerhouses emerged from it. They were as strong as the ancestors of the ancient 8 clans who had broken away. After 10,000 years, Xiao Yang and the other 5 emperors had broken through the sky. The feats are all legends from the Doqi continent. The legend of Doqi continent is still going on. However, at this time, the Doqi continent was invaded by some sudden forces, and it seemed that the glory no longer existed. A smear of tragic dark blood-red demonic energy, like a tide, ravaged the entire sky, encroaching on this world and making countless human beings here all day long under a shadow of great fear. After this kind of power, it seems that together with the power of the Do Sheng Peak powerhouse, it has become as ridiculous as ants. Teacher, does he have any news? Somewhere in Doqi continent, there is a sea of flowers, colorful flowers blooming, petals falling, and the beautiful setting here is like a fairyland on earth. On a quiet mountain peak in the sea of flowers, Dao, a person with a light body and a slender waist, as beautiful as a fairy in a painting, stands here quietly. Not yet. It seems that since the space channel was destroyed, we can't leave here. A few days ago, I was lucky enough to break through the barrier of the blood fog in the sky and transmit a trace of energy signal. As for whether it will be successful, I don't know. A woman in a white dress spoke lightly. Her body was surrounded by colorful petals, and 3,000 blue silk fluttered in the wind, but at this time, she obviously had no intention of admiring these flowers. Her eyes were filled with a hint of worry, and she tightened her grip. Staring at the mist in the distant sky. Inside, there is a peerless and ferocious evil aura, which is rapidly expanding like a baby. Once the complete preparation is completed, the entire Doqi continent will be destroyed. Because the aura hidden in it is countless times more powerful than the power of the Soul Heaven Emperor and Xiao Yang. Teacher. Beside the woman in white, a woman in blue stood quietly, carrying a tulle trench coat in her hand, which seemed to be prepared for the woman in front of her. The two women both have their own charms, but the cyan woman is less elegant and light than the white woman. I don't know where that guy is now. How is he doing? The woman in white shook her head, nodded her head and lowered her eyebrows. Every time she thought of this guy, the melancholy emotions in her mind were unreservedly vented. The surrounding flowers and plants were embellished by his breath, extraordinarily lush and vibrant. This kind of fluctuation is impressively the pinnacle of Do Sheng. It is only one step away from Emperor Do. Yangran, let's go. This battle, I'm afraid we need to deal with it ourselves. Is teacher. As soon as the voice fell, in this endless rolling sea of flowers, 2 beautiful shadows and immortals were walking towards the core of Zhongzhou. Before leaving, the woman in Xingyi also shook her head and sighed. Alas. After so many years, the teacher still hasn't been able to completely forget him. Xiao Yang, Xiao Yang. A faint sigh sounded, and the girl in Xingyi couldn't help but reappear in the mind of Xiao Yang's past scenes, and those scenes are still vivid in her mind. But even if history goes back, Xinailan Yangran will repeat the same mistakes. A quarter of an hour later, Zhongzhou, the top of Shuangdi Mountain. Since the 5 emperors broke the sky, several magnificent palaces have been built on the top of Shuangdi Mountain to commemorate and worship Emperor Yang Xiao Yang. But in the past, the pious and serene hilltop palace was now surrounded by nervous figures. Miss, young master, all the powerful forces have come. The guard's voice fell, and the figures were basically all here. Sister Yunyun and Sister Xiaoyixian are also here. While speaking, the distress on the brows of a purple-eyed woman was slightly relieved, and she quickly passed through the crowded crowd and walked towards the two figures. Xiao Xiao, you little girl is quite generous. Yun smiled sweetly, her voice full of relief. Sister Yun, Sister Xiao. A good-looking man behind the woman also nodded and smiled at the two of them. Because of the special relationship between Xiao Yang and them, all the names were like this from beginning to end. Xiao Lin, Xian, the 7 patriarchs, the master. The people have already arrived. Xiao's slender jade held Yun, the 2 daughters of the little doctor fairy, and quickly went to the first place in the palace. After the 5 emperors broke the sky, relying on some of the emperor's origin qi left by Xiao Yang, this space became prosperous, but because the space channel was destroyed, no one had the opportunity to go to the unknown continent, so now the people sitting here cross-legged everyone's strength is the 9-star fighting saint rank. Even because Xian, Yun, and Xiao had an unusual relationship with Xiao Yang, even the 7 ancient clans were slightly inferior to them in strength. Yun's body is full of flowers all day long, and a faint fragrance is present. As for the little medical fairy, she also wears a white dress, standing elegantly and quietly. On the contrary, it was Yang on the side, her slender purple hair exuded a faint charm, but now she has grown up completely. She is no longer the little girl she used to be, but the Dragon Emperor of the Taishu ancient dragon clan. She is extremely beautiful. To call everyone here today, everyone must already know. Xiao stood proudly, with a gorgeous and colorful armor covering his elegant and slender waist, which outlined his graceful figure extremely attractive, and his voice was full of magnetism and coercion, obviously leaving behind a lot of Queen Medusa. The arrogance on the scales is shocking when he speaks. What exactly are those powers? Actually, even our 9-star Dosheng peak can't resist. Watching the black pressure of the blood-colored mist outside continue to spread, a maddening and hideous sound resounded, and I could vaguely feel that the breath of some kind of creature was becoming more and more solid, and the voices of the 7 ancient clans emerged. That kind of power doesn't seem to originate from our local power. Xian opened his mouth slightly. For the Taishu ancient dragon clan, they wandered in the void all day long, so they were clear about all the forces in the Doqi continent. The Doqi continent, except for Zhengzhou, which has not yet been affected, the entire continent is caught in a dire crisis. Any human beings or even living beings who touched those black mists were all swallowed up by them, and even their souls and corpses disappeared. Yun stood up, her indifferent eyes became solemn for the first time. The next thing to deal with is probably another catastrophe on the Do Emperor continent after the battle of the 2 emperors. The little doctor's body trembled, and a trace of poisonous mist was released, causing the surrounding void to tremble slightly, but even her voice seemed extremely heavy. Hey, that guy Xiao Yang doesn't know where he is now. The senior Xiao Zhanyao, who was above the first, nodded helplessly at this time, and now they can only pin their hopes in the hands of these coalition forces. I'm afraid things are not so simple. As soon as the voice fell, outside the palace on the top of the Shuangdi mountain, layers of gloomy and evil mist pierced through the void, and the demonic energy roared out directly. Is it the origin of the ancient Xiao clan? I finally found you. A madly chilling sound pierced through the void, carrying countless evil and powers, completely covering the entire world of Doqi continent like the end of the world. At this moment, in the Doqi continent, demonic energy is tumbling, and every time it tumbling, it tens of thousands of human beings. Boom! The black and red blood mist rolled, unexpectedly shattering the space of this piece of heaven and earth, and an extremely strong aura of death lingered in the hearts of everyone, as if they had come from the other side of the distant starry sky, making their faces extraordinarily solemn and serious. Come yet! Looking at this scene, the eyes of a handsome man in the crowd flickered, resolute perseverance emerged, and he murmured softly, Sister, if you can't resist it for a while, you can take the rest of your clan and Sister Yun and the others away. Xiao Lin scratched his head honestly, and immediately said with a smile, but everyone knew what Xiao Lin's words meant. While speaking, the atmosphere in the entire palace became quiet. Xiao Lin, don't be fooling around. I'm your sister, you must listen to me. A few of us will be involved here for a while. You bring the rest of the clansmen into the space channel. Even if the space channel is destroyed, relying on the strength of all of you today is enough to stay in the space channel for a short time. Xiao's slender fingers stirred up a surging Do-Chi energy, which instantly fell on Xiao Lin, trying to push him out. The strong energy fluctuations made him slightly chill. Although the two are both fighting saints, the power of the swallowing python contained in Xiao is not comparable to Xiao Lin. After doing all of this, Xiao's red lips opened slightly, like a queen being unceremonious, her voice was decisive, and there was no room for negotiation. Xiao Xiao and Xiao Lin are naturally the sons and daughters of Xiao Yang, Kailin, and Zun but now the two are grown up, no longer the little guys they used to look like, both in terms of strength and status. They all stand in this place. The pinnacle of the mainland, although Xiao Yanwei's name is credited to it, the perseverance and talent of the two are equally appalling. Sister, what time is it? You're still like this. When Xiao Lin heard this, he slapped his palm violently, shattering the rich energy ripples, and roaring with hot breaths rolling from his throat. Don't argue, our 7 ancient clans and the 3 saints will resist these guys together. Miss Xiao Xiao and young Master Xiao Lin will leave with some of the remaining bloodlines of our respective clans. The new patriarch of the ancient clan spoke slightly. No. A series of disputes sounded. Brat. Yaro Laro and Xiao Zhon on the main stage looked at each other, and the strong killing intent in their eyes could no longer be concealed. Don't worry, this is his home, and ours will protect him. Even if it's guarding until the last moment. Yun Yun, Xiao Yixian, and Zi Yang spoke softly, and after a while, their bodies jumped, standing directly above the sky, and they were the first to stop in front of everyone. Send my order, the army retreats, and all the voids here are vacated to avoid the aftermath of the battle. At the same time, gather all your strength to protect the last piece of paradise behind us. Dochi continents Do Sheng rank and above, join me to fight against the enemy. Looking at this scene, Xiao Xiao's cold and glamorous cheeks showed serious seriousness, and his voice was as mighty as the 9-day thunder filled the entire Dochi continent. Battle! Battle! Xiao Xiao's voice fell, and thousands of voices appeared incessantly. Among them, there are many of the top generation in the mainland today, the ancestor of Dantar, the ancestor of Huayun, Xiao Chen. Immediately, the blood mist rolled in the sky, and several beautiful figures and many fighting saints were standing here. At this time, countless humans above Zhengzhou looked up and looked at the humming blood mist, and the hearts were filled with awe. It was wriggling violently, shaking and buzzing, as if some kind of evil demon slowly crawled out. Xiao Lin, didn't I tell you to go back and take charge of the rear of the army? What about you? A group of people stood in the sky, trying to figure out how to break the evil blood mist. When Xiao Xiao's eyes saw a handsome man striding out in front of him, he couldn't help but scold. Sister, I've grown up. I am a manly man, and I will protect you like daddy. The faint golden flame on Xiao Lin's body was looming, and his voice was sonorous and powerful. I'm your sister. Xiao Xiao snorted coldly, extremely displeased. If this place collapses, I'll knock you out and carry you away. Sister, if something happens to you, even if I die, I can't forgive myself. At that time, I had no face to see my parents kissing them. Xiao Lin's nose was sour, and he roared. The lines of the Xiao family between his eyebrows showed a strange halo. You. Hearing Xiao Lin's words, the colorful snake around Xiao Xiao trembled slightly, and his voice became choked up. Once upon a time, I was Xiao Lin's own sister, but this guy is very talented. After decades of growth, he has grown to exist side by side with him. Originally, Xiao Xiao wanted to provoke this great responsibility by himself, but Xiao Lin saw through it at a glance. Don't worry, the two of us still exist. Xiao Yixian and Yun Yun looked at each other. Their strength had already reached the level of a half-emperor, and they had the nourishment of the origin of the emperor, so they would not be rejected by this world. It's really a touching scene. But this world will fall at my feet. The delicious blood of the 8 ancient clans. Boom. At the moment when everyone was arguing, the blood mist in the sky trembled and completed its brewing, a black shadow stepped out step by step, and the sky and the earth turned pale in an instant. Crack. The fierce blood mist and wind turned into countless extremely sharp energy blades, roaring at the crowd. The void ruptured, and it had the terrifying power of destroying the sky and destroying the earth, extremely terrifying. Careful. Feeling the terrifying power contained in this level of attack, Yun Yun and Xiao Yixian looked at each other, both of them drank at the same time, and attacked. Put on a seemingly weak blow, but abruptly knocked back the two bodies by several hundred meters, and even the fighting chi in the two bodies roared violently, as if they had been affected by a very terrifying influence. The colorful flowers fell down like lost flowers and willows, and on the shadows filled with poisonous gas, a trace of bright red blood deeply stabbed the hearts of everyone present. Failed. Yun Yun and the 2 daughters of the little Dr. Fairy are the strongest in this world. How could such a powerful force be defeated in one blow under this mysterious blood shadow? This world is so wonderful. If it weren't for the high-level people in the Great Thousand World being entangled by powerhouses from outside the realm like me, I'm afraid there's really no chance to set foot here. Hand over the core bloodline owners of your ancient 8 clans. I can guarantee that you will not die. Especially the Xiao clan. A deafening voice sounded, and a black shadow suddenly stepped out from the blood mist and caught everyone's sight. The energies of the heavens and the earth instantly quieted down, and the fighting chi in the bodies of countless strong men instantly solidified like a dry river, and a death-like shock emerged in my heart. It turned out that this guy's purpose was Xiao clan? This guy, is it for the Xiao clan? Hearing this hideous voice, the hearts of many strong men standing above the sky became confused. The Xiao clan is now the strongest in the Dochi continent. This mysterious evil creature is actually coming towards them. It's all about this time, stop gossiping. Xiao Chen took a step, and the strong killing intent swept out like a tide. For this reason, the power above evil creatures is definitely not something he can resist. Humph. My descendants on the Dochi continent, there is no one who is greedy for life and fears death. Xiao Xiao and Xiao Lin stepped out one step at a time, their eyes filled with extremely strong killing intent, and the endless surging fighting spirit was vented. It's just a group of ants. The figures that emerged from the blood mist were no different from human beings. They were bathed in a blood-red armor. The eyes were red with endless madness. Generally, too weak and vulnerable. His own strength is at the reincarnation level. Although he came here at a great cost, and in order to prevent the movement of his own making too much and disturbing the great world, he naturally won't use all his strength. In addition, there are 2 kings guarding the space passage, and the world here will completely evolve into his slaughterhouse. As long as you find the root of the Xiao clan, with the blood of their descendants of the Xiao clan, there are people of great wisdom among the evil clan outside the territory who can use sorcery to find the traces of the Xiao clan who have disappeared from the world. The First World War has passed for a long time. Both the Great Thousand Worlds and the evil races from outside the territory have recovered a lot of vitality, and their strength has been greatly improved, which is much more tyrannical than the First War. However, the Xiao clan's contribution to the Great Thousand Worlds, and the many destructive attacks against the evil clan outside the territory, are still vivid in their minds, stinging their nerves. There is no trace of the entire Xiao clan. If they don't thoroughly understand the details, the foreign evil clan naturally dare not attack rashly. After all, they have learned the lesson of the first battle failure, which makes them still fresh in their memory. Go! This world is vulnerable. You too, stay with me. The evil man sneered, his arms instantly became rough, and a black-red blood dragon brewed in an instant, suddenly cut through the void, and attacked the 3. The target of the attack is naturally Xiao Lin and Xiao Xiao. Although the 2 of them are descendants of the Xiao clan, they did not obtain the purest clan pattern power like Xiao Yang, but the original aura of the Xiao clan pattern made this evil man lock them at a glance. Especially Xiao Lin, who has the power of the clan lines flashing between his eyebrows. That is the unique power of the Xiao clan, and there is absolutely no mistake. Come on. Yun Yun and Xiao Yishen looked at each other, the surging power in their bodies tilted out, and their delicate bodies floated, covering Xiao Lin and Xiao Xiao in one fell swoop. The 2 girls couldn't take care of the violent fluctuations of fighting spirit in their bodies, because from the ferocious roar of the blood-colored dragon, they truly felt a call from hell. It's like the of death is rendering and depriving her of life. The power of the void. Zi Yang's expression was dignified and complicated, and her beautiful human body disappeared instantly, turning into a huge purple dragon shadow over 1,000 feet. Blood axe. Darnley. When the other powers saw this scene, they shot at the same time, and the overwhelming fighting chi surged up, turning the world into a real fighting chi whirlpool. Dozens of Do Sheng Peak powerhouses displayed their heaven-level fighting skills. Not only did they not bring about any changes in the energy of this world, but even when they came into contact with the blood-colored demon dragon, they were like moths to a fire, easily destroyed. The seemingly turbulent attack is actually just hitting the stone with an egg, which is ridiculous. Damn. The joint attack of everyone was so vulnerable. Zi Yang's dragon body instantly slanted, and it stood in front of Xiao Xiao and the others. This girl actually tried to use her dragon body to withstand the attack of the demon dragon. Do not. Sister Zi Yang. You will die if you go on like this. When Xiao Xiao saw this, his icy eyes finally became hot, and an uncontrollable sourness emerged from the corner of his eyes. Today, her strength is extremely terrifying, but when she faced the evil dragon in front of her, she felt powerless. Hey, don't worry. There was a touch of relief in Zi Yang's dragon eyes, and the huge purple-gold dragon body enveloped the void in front of the 2, as indestructible as a copper wall and an iron wall. A boring move. Go away, don't waste my time. The evil man was walking in the void, followed behind the dragon, and walked towards the space where Xiao Xiao and the two were. As he passed, the void was actually swallowed and destroyed by it, and a violent spatial storm exploded, horrifying, stabbing. It hurts the nerves of countless people. Tear it off. The magic dragon hasn't touched Zi Yang's huge dragon body. When it is close to 3 meters, the harsh wind-breaking sound is released in an endless stream, but Zi Yang's expression is extremely ugly, and her whole body is like fried hair, and countless purple-golden dragon scales fall instantly. Vertical, even the power in the body became quiet. Tiny. Fall down, ants. The evil man is too lazy to care about the life and death of this purple-gold dragon body. His purpose is only the descendants of the Xiao clan. Flower Sea Fairy Duo. Poisonous fog lingers. Looking at each other, Yun and Xiao Yixian both had graceful postures, and there were actually very mysterious fluctuations on their bodies. Boom. The three women's attack and defense instantly collided with the energy dragon, causing countless energy ripples, making this space to the brink of fragmentation. Crack. Just when the three girls were defeated, the sky was quietly cracked, and a crack fell from the sky. This is reincarnation powerhouse? How can a low-level plane attract the powerhouses in the Great Thousand Worlds? In doubt, the evil man raised his forehead suddenly and looked at the crack in the sky beside him. 3 energy beams of light running through the heavens and the earth, with mottled colors, one of which is full of silver dazzling energy, even more like the splendor of a god, stretched out from a distant plane, and slapped it with a slap. The power of reincarnation? Defense. The evil man was extremely surprised, but then he didn't dare to take it lightly, and suddenly used the magic dragon to resist the aftermath of the energy overflowing from the 3 beams. With a sound, the attack of the evil man and the beam of reincarnation annihilated away, but the 3 figures standing in front of Xiao Xiao disappeared suddenly, as if they were silently carried away by these 3 strange beams. It seems that these 3 women's identities are not low, even the strength of the strong shot has reached the realm of heaven. The evil man's trembling opening, especially one of the 3 beams, a silver beam. The level of that level is no less than the evil level of the foreign evil clan. What kind of power is that? Fortunately they are all right. The disappearance of Yun, Xiao Yixian, and Zi Yang's 3 daughters made Xiao Xiao relieved. They had a very close relationship with his father, so this kind of ending is not bad. At least after his death, the 3 of them will avenge him. But then, I am afraid it will be the real doomsday. Without the help of the power of the 3 women, the power of this evil devil is enough to destroy this place. The catastrophe continues to spread. This video will end here.